Welcome to Rewiring Potential, using neuroplasticity to transform students' self-belief. Hi, my name is Kim Wright and I'm a digital technology specialist teaching Prep to Year 6 at Toowong State School, located in beautiful Brisbane. In order to become the best possible teacher that I can, I've recently begun studying educational neuroscience. Today, I'd like to share something that has reshaped how I understand my students and how I teach: the power of neuroplasticity. This presentation is for every teacher who's ever had a student say, "I just can't do it," because the science tells us they absolutely can. Let's begin with a question. What if that student who freezes in maths, avoids reading aloud, or shrinks at feedback isn't failing due to a lack of intelligence, but because their brain has wired that struggle into a belief? And what if, through the right experiences, we could help them rewire that? Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's capacity to change its structure and function over time, not just in early development. When students engage in repeated practice, especially in emotionally safe classrooms, their brains literally rewire. They strengthen both skill and belief in themselves. This concept is foundational. It tells us that every effort, every challenge met, and every mistake reflected upon reshapes how the brain learns. That's what we as teachers influence every day. Let's take a closer look at the science. Neuroplasticity is enabled by three key processes that allow the brain to change its structure and function over time. Synaptogenesis is the creation of new neural connections. Pruning is the brain's way of streamlining efficiency by removing unused pathways. And myelination strengthens frequently used connections, speeding up transmission. Together, these processes allow the brain to adapt to what it does most often. This is why repeated practice, especially in emotionally safe environments, strengthens both skill and self-belief. You might remember the study by Dragansky. MRI scans showed that adults learning to juggle developed measurable structural brain changes. If juggling can rewire the brain, so can writing a paragraph, mastering multiplication, or persevering in coding. Neurons that fire together wire together. This principle, known as Hebb's law, tells us that the brain strengthens connections that are activated together. If a student repeatedly thinks, "I'm not good at this," that thought forms a well-worn path, a neural shortcut of doubt. But the opposite is also true. With new strategies, support, and feedback, we can help them form new pathways that say, "I can grow." Then there's mindset. And mindset isn't just about attitude. It's about how belief systems activate or block the brain's capacity to change. Dweck showed us that when students believe they can't improve, they often protect themselves by withdrawing from effort. But when students believe growth is possible, they lean in. And this behaviour lays down new neural tracks. Each choice to try again, take feedback, or reflect isn't just behavioural. It's biological. Our role as educators is to help shift beliefs so the brain can follow. Several years ago, I had a student who told me she was hopeless at technology. She avoided tasks and hesitated to even try. So, we broke things down into small pieces, chunking learning. We celebrated tiny wins. We used process praise. You really stuck with that even when it got tricky. By the end of the semester, she was solving problems independently and even helping others. Her brain had changed, but even more importantly, her belief had changed. When it comes to experience, repetition matters, but not just repetition for repetition's sake. The brain changes when students engage in experiences that are meaningful, repeated, and challenging, yet emotionally safe. As students practice a skill with intention and get feedback that helps them reflect, new neural pathways form. And these pathways get stronger with use. Meanwhile, older, unused pathways begin to fade. This pruning helps the brain work more efficiently, making skills easier and faster over time. It's also important to remember that emotionally safe environments allow risk taking, and that's when the brain is most receptive to change. Cozolino reminds us we are wired to connect. Relationships are the foundation of learning. That's why safe classrooms and relationship based teaching matter. They create the emotional conditions for change to stick. Many teachers will say, that's all quite fascinating, but how do I actually make it happen in my classroom? Here are 6 ways we can activate neuroplasticity in everyday teaching. Number 1, use process praise. Focus on recognising the students' hard work and the strategies they used, rather than just their natural abilities. Number 2, celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and highlight even the smallest improvements or breakthroughs to help build the students' confidence and self-belief. 3, model struggle out loud. Demonstrate your own thought processes and problem-solving approaches so students can see how the brain works and learn from your example. 4, build in reflection. Encourage students to regularly reflect on their learning experiences, progress, and changing mindsets to deepen their self-awareness and reinforce neuroplastic changes. 5, scaffold healthy risk-taking. Create a supportive and safe environment where students feel comfortable taking on challenging tasks and trying new approaches without fear of failure. 6, shift focus to growth over grades. Shift the focus away from achieving perfect results and instead celebrate the student's journey of growth and improvement over time. Let's bring all of this together. Here are the big 3 takeaways that you need to remember. Brains are built to change. The brain is a dynamic, malleable organ that can rewire itself throughout life through experience, practice, and learning. Belief systems are shaped by the brain's neuroplastic changes, and updated beliefs can, in turn, catalyse further brain changes. Teachers are the architects of both environment and opportunity, creating classrooms and experiences that activate neuroplasticity and transform student self-belief. By understanding the power of neuroplasticity and applying targeted strategies, teachers can unlock the true potential of their students and help them rewire outdated mindsets, ultimately transforming self-belief and academic success. Every lesson, every moment of feedback, every conversation is a chance to rewire. As Norman Doidge wrote, the brain is not an inanimate vessel that we fill with knowledge. It is a living, learning organ that changes with every experience. Let's teach in a way that respects that. Let's hold up a mirror to our students, not of where they are, but of where they're growing. Because when they believe they can change, they will. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to explore the concepts of neuroplasticity or educational neuroscience further, the following references are a great place to start.